welcome back to Hoosier Crane TV. I'm Caitlin Miller, the engineering manager here at Hoosier Crane. I'm standing here in the New York blower plant in Newcastle, Pennsylvania. This was a great project for us. Take a look.
Getting together with Hoosier Crane was kind of over a long-term relationship that we've had working with them in LaPorte. They've done several projects for us. We like their work, confident in their work, and with them being 40 minutes from us made it easy to design the project from the get-go.
The New York blower project consisted of 3 20-ton cranes. One of those had a single hoist with the ability to add a future 10-ton hoist. The other 2 came with 2 10-ton dual hoists that went on the same crane. It's going to allow for a load turning application. Both in those cranes will utilize a Magnatech Flex 12 EX2 radio to allow them to operate both hoists and trolleys at the same time. With the 40 tons, we had one 40-ton that had a single 40-ton hoist, and then the other 2 were also load turning applications with dual 20-ton hoist.
We put load turning hoist in to be able to rotate our product in basically 90 degrees. So we could stand a fan up on its front face or on the back end for either assembly work, maybe to help the weld process, to ease for coating or painting the product, which again is very difficult to do with 2 hoists if you don't have the proper setup. So by getting the load turning hoist, it makes that very easy for us to be able to rotate the fans. It's provided a much safer way for us to handle our product, our fans. In the past, we had to use a hoist in combination with maybe a fork truck or some other material handling device to be able to rotate our product around, and now we're able to do it with a single crane with 2 hoists on it. Hoosier Crane has been servicing New York blower for probably about 10 years now, or close to it. And we've had really good luck with Hoosier Crane, good service with them. We've actually even had a couple issues with one hoist here on this project, and they right away got us the parts we needed under warranty and taken care of. And it was on a Friday, I believe, is when the problem happened, and they UPS the parts next day, had them here Saturday morning to get that particular hoist back up and running. So yeah, it's been a good partnership, relationship. We're glad to have them working here.
We are proud of this project. Here's a look at it from start to finish in 60 seconds. We are constantly working on new projects, although not as big as that New York blower project. Here's a look at ITR America, a new crane we put in Hobart, Indiana.
This is for a customer out of Hobart, Indiana named ITR. We supplied them with a 10-ton street crane about a year ago, and they were happy with the product, and then they called us back out to do, they're building another building in Hobart as well.
Our VP of Operations had previously looked into the market for quality product as well as good pricing and good service, and they had selected Hoosier Crane to install a crane at our facility next door, and ultimately just use the same supplier to bring into this facility because of the good service and price that we received. We're going to utilize the crane to handle steel structures, crawler track frame steel assemblies during our assembly process, as well as using it to offload open-top containers, unloading steel structures that we're purchasing from suppliers. Hoosier Crane's been very adaptive. We've had a couple setbacks with other aspects of our new facility build, and Hoosier Crane has adjusted their schedule to meet our schedule, which has been very beneficial to us. Additionally, after purchasing the crane prior to construction, we identified that we needed increased height of the bridge itself. And Hoosier was technically able to reconstruct, add some risers into the bridge structure and accommodate our height requirements. Good group of people, good supplier, and we're very happy.
The guys who build, service, and install our cranes are the real heroes of Hoosier Crane. We talked to one of them about a recent project in the Chicago area.
This is a top-running double girder crane. It's a little bit different from the underhung cranes that or the under-running cranes that we normally do. This specific application doesn't require a lot of movement for the trolley or the bridge. From my understanding, it's a die flipping or workstation crane. So they have an existing crane that matches this out in their facility, and we are going to go in and do a runway extension to make the runway longer and then add this second crane so they can put up another station for that. There are trade-offs for every kind of crane, and this application doesn't need as much movement. With a single girder crane, you're going to position the crane over whatever you're picking. With this, having the two girders, they're wider when you position over it, so you have to have extra space on the runway to be able to position the crane exactly where you want. So this application, that wasn't needed. They're not going to be running this crane up and down the runway. It's more or less going to be parked right over where they're using it all the time. So for this one, the advantages outweighed the disadvantages for the double girder top runner.
Still to come on Hoosier Crane TV, NDT service, an explanation and a reminder. And Hoosier Crane honors its own. But first, a salute to another great business partner, Gorbel.
Gorbel is our primary workstation crane, jib crane, fall protection supplier. Gorbel's been a supplier to Hoosier Crane since 2003. So actually a year after Hoosier Crane started, we had to wait for a dealership spot to open up before we could be a dealer.
You guys have been a great partner for us. I think one of the primary benefits for Gorbel having Hoosier as a customer is and a partner, if you will, is that I think the first thing that comes to mind is the loyalty. Hoosier is definitely a very loyal customer to the complete family of Gorbel products, and that's obviously greatly appreciated. But then secondly, I think the huge benefit that Hoosier's brought to Gorbel is probably access to a very, very broad array of different end users.
Gorbel has been a really good supplier for us. We have a really good sales rep that helps us out. They have really good support on the back end. They have tools like Crane Brain that helps people quote it. It also allows us to set up dealers with it so that we can train the dealers so they can be self-sufficient with Crane Brain and quote their own stuff.
Not only does Crane Brain develop the price for you within a matter of minutes, literally a matter of minutes, but it also develops a design with a CAD drawing for you that you can in turn share with the customer, use as an approval drawing, or use as a basis for potential changes.
Gorbel has actually come out with the G hoist. It's their electric chain hoist, and it's fairly new to the market for Gorbel. It's a German-made hoist, and it's been a hoist that's been around for a while, but Gorbel just picked it up, and they're working with this German company and developed this hoist, and it's been a really solid hoist. We've sold quite a few of them, and then as of next week, we're actually going to be one of the warranty service centers for that hoist.
Price, delivery, and sales tools, I think, really encapsulate the package. From an individual sales perspective, Gorbel gives you some excellent sales tools. And I think one of the things that I like seeing that's nice to see is that everybody at Hoosier takes full advantage.
We've done some stories on our non-destructive testing service, but we thought we should remind everyone because safety is important to us. Here's our safety manager who has some details.
NDT testing is non-destructive testing, and there was two types. There's a liquid penetrant, and there's also a magnetic particle. What I did actually on the hook was both. I did a magnetic particle and a dye penetrant test. It's feasible to do it that way. Normally you would take the hook completely out of the block and test the threads and everything, especially down at the top of the shank. You want to make sure that that gets checked real good as well, because that is a stress point. We would use a wet method there, where we would actually put a liquid on it, wash it off, and then put a developer on it to look for the cracks in the threads or in the shank itself. Now, where you can have advantages and disadvantages, like for the magnetic particle, something like this would be something we'd want to do with a magnetic particle. Because of the paint on here, the paint on it makes it very, very difficult in order to use dye penetrant to liquid. As a matter of fact, you really can't, because you're going to have false readings and it's not going to penetrate the paint. Where magnetic particle actually gets below the paint surface and actually even below the metal surface. And it will identify certain areas where there's deformities where you could question or see visual cracks.
Hoosier Crane will be rolling out another new service that we believe will really help our customers. Here's our service coordinator talking about some details of that project in our most recent podcast.
Welcome back to the Hoosier Crane podcast. I am your host, Bray Beals. I am here once again with our service manager, Zach Hilligos. We are here to make a pretty substantial announcement, Zach.
I'd say so.
Yeah, so let's introduce our new product, or our new offering.
Yeah, I've been working on it for a long time. What it's called is Service Pro. So basically we are revamping our service software. So everything we do in service is going to be upgraded.
So currently we use a program called Inspectall.
Correct.
That we've used for years.
Before I was here, yeah.
Correct. And we've built we've built our forms and everything in this program, and what that allows us to do is when we created a customer's asset, let's say we're doing an inspection for a new customer, we create their asset in the system, which then brings over certain inspection criteria, and we're able to reference the asset within a web-based program and et cetera. So we're upgrading that.
We're not losing any functionality. So anything we have now is staying. It's only going to be better.
Okay. So what do we have now that is staying?
So what we have now is obviously we detail track all inspections. We detail track all assets. We have the ability to keep everything digital. Everything's on an iPad. We take pictures of everything. If a customer calls in and wants to know how many inspections we've done on his crane, I can tell him that. I can pull the reports anytime I want. I can pull the service reports anytime I want too, but that's kind of where we were.
We get bogged down.
Not
there.
where we needed to be.
Sure.
So that's kind of where that's changed a little bit now, and gotten better. The major difference I'd say with inspections and the reports that the customers are looking at, that'll be different is like now our pictures are going to be directly with the inspection. They're not going to be all the way at the bottom and you have to reference what picture goes to what question. It'll be inside the question and it'll expand and make, obviously your inspection runs onto more pages, but the pictures are going to be built into every question. So if we take 4 pictures of this problem, they're going to be right there.
So if we write up a wire rope because it's bad and we take a picture of the deficiency, it'll be on the line that says repair, replace wire rope.
Correct.
It won't be at the bottom of the report that says, hey, reference image 8,747.
Nope, that's going away.
You can listen to our podcast on our website at HoosierCrane.com, Podbean, or iTunes. Hoosier Crane prides itself on being a family-oriented company, a company that treats its employees just like family. Our owner recently delivered some awards to some key people here.
I'll read some of the things that were written about this person. Great willingness to help others succeed. Always willing to stop and help others and help them get answers. Cares about doing things the right way. Fourth quarter 2018 goes to Brian.
Over there hoping it was you. Rock, he was there.
So we have a special recognition for somebody that's been going above and beyond, and a lot of the peers here have recognized that and are getting in my ear and Sherry's ear, and it's a pleasure to have this person around each and every day. So, Todd Cook. We decided, with a little help, we're going to the U.S. Open in September.
Thank you, everybody.
That's our show. Thanks again for watching. From everyone here at Hoosier Crane, stay safe and God bless.